How's it going, everybody? My name is Jack Brooks, and welcome to the Angry Birds Plush bonus video. In this video, we'll be discussing things that just did not come to be in the grand scheme of things when it came to Angry Birds Plush on the Gearworks Studio YouTube channel. That mainly includes things from the fabled Season 3, the season that just, took place after Civil War. That was planned after Civil War, and, the big stink happened, and it just, didn't come to be any of that. So there was a bunch of shit planned for Angry Birds Plush post-Civil War, but yeah, that's really mainly to be discussed in this video. But before we even get into the nitty-gritty deep end, we have a bit of a special surprise, and that is about the Silver Bells comic, which was supposed to be a 3-issue release that took place in between the big setup and Civil War. So this comic is, or was, about how Red meets Silver from Angry Birds 2. Silver is hired by Junior, Smooth Cheeks the Fourth, to get information and really just spy on Red and maybe kill him. But Silver falls in love with Red, so it's like a Batman Returns sort of thing with, Batman and Catwoman, but instead of those two, it's, Red and Silver. So the first part takes place in Christmas of 2012, because the big setup takes place in September 2012, and I think I just recently confirmed in the comment section of Civil War that Civil War, like the finalized Civil War, which is just, the standalone chapter it is today, takes place in March of 2013, and Civil Bells was supposed to take place in between that. So I'm gonna read to you the first script for Silver Bells, the first issue. So scene 1 takes place in the marketplace of Avian and Swine Legion. It says it's snowing, and we have a bird's eye shot of the marketplace. So rows of shopping booths within an alleyway. Vendors and booths, kiosks all about with pigs and birds, running rampant. So we have the Blues, who are stacked on top of each other, stealing something from one of the booths, and the vendor isn't paying attention. And then Red from off screen catches them, and he says, "I'm disappointed in you three. You should know way better."
No, Red, we were only trying to get something great for you. We don't have any money. I tried to warn them, Jake, but they wouldn't listen.
I know for a fact you wouldn't even consider purchasing anything for me. Now get out of here before you get in trouble.
Jake, what the hell is wrong with you? You're getting lamer and lamer each second, dude. One of us has to be the smart one.
What are the little runts up to? Nothing good. How about our little lovebirds? No peeking. Alright. Nothing much, friend. Just getting some Christmas shopping done. Hey, you can look now, Hal. Oh, Red. Luke told me that an outside visitor is here to see you. Apparently she's a reporter. And a bird. A visiting bird. Where's Luke? Oh, I think at the Capitol. I'm gonna have to meet with that visitor if she wants to see me. Also, thank you for helping out this Christmas, Terrence. Ah, sure, Red. Even though I still need to find myself, I'm also reminded that all of you are pretty much the only family I got. And the next scene takes place at the Capitol. So as Red finds himself at the entrance, or the main hall, he's immediately approached by Luke, who is the tiny-ass pig with freckles. He's the friggin' pig from Bad Piggies.
Ah, Mr. Red, we were expecting you. Now come along, the visitor awaits you.
So Red trails behind Luke as he guides him to the reporter at the seating lounge. And then he stops, and then he meets the reporter. It's Silver. And immediately he is love-struck by the sight of Silver. So yes, this is Silver the Falcon from Angry Birds 2. And from that point on, they meet each other, and Red, just is in love with Silver. And Red takes her on a tour of the island, and then they eventually end up at the bar, where Red just kind of opens up about what the Avian and Swine Legion stands for, and Silver kind of falls in love with them. So after that, Red walks himself home, and Silver dismisses herself, and then the next scene is in Junior's lair, Smooth Cheeks the Fourth's lair, to be exact. So yeah, Junior. So they're at this round table, And Silver approaches the round table, still in her disguise. So, little falcon, is my will done yet? I don't know. It depends if you have my pay. And you will get just that when the deed is done. Understand? Fuck off. I'm not just gonna let you walk all over me like this. If you want the info, you're gonna have to pay up now. Fine. So, Junior whistles a sharp note and one of the guards brings a huge sack of shillings to him. Silver gets the cassette tape out because, throughout her interview of Red when they were touring the island and, he was talking about the Avon and Swine Legion, he was just, she's a reporter. She said she was a reporter, so yeah, she was just recording all this. The two slowly begin to exchange their payments just when Junior whacks Silver with the sack of shillings. You won't get a single cent of this until you kill that red bastard. Then the next scene, still Christmassy, it's in the Avian and Swine Legion courtyard at night, and there's a big friggin' Christmas festival going on, and everyone's there. And Red gives a speech. Silver adores and admires Red for the speech. So, yeah. So after the fact, we cut to Red's hut, and Silver breaks into Red's hut to steal the mighty feather that was gifted to him by the Mighty Eagle. And I think she gets away with it after she and Red fight. But Red has no idea that it's Silver. So that's all we had for Silver Bells, and it was to be illustrated by Christopher Schneider. And we just couldn't do it. And he only got to illustrate the first scene. And I just want you to know that his art has 100% improved since this was like 3 or 4 years ago or whatever. Yeah, his art has majorly improved since this, so please check out his other work, or else I'll find you. Okay, so finally we can move on to Civil War. So a bunch of crazy, insanely epic shit was planned for Civil War. So Civil War Part 1 was pretty dull and boring because it was supposed to set up this epic climactic, that the rest of the chapter, Parts 2 and 3, were supposed to be insanely exciting. A little confusing, but insanely exciting nonetheless. So here was basically everything that was supposed to happen in Civil War Part 2. So, Stoutsman, Father Stoutsman, if you remember him, he's the guy with the brown knob on his head, but he was omitted from Vidal La Legion because he just made the plot too confusing, so I just kicked him out. It was for the better. He didn't really add anything. And he especially does not add anything in Civil War either because his plan doesn't even end up working. So, Father Stoutsman is trying to start a republic to, overthrow the monarchy that is the Piggy Kingdom / Empire. So yeah, there are riots and massacres happening outside, and Father Stoutsman is fixing to go kill Junior to end it once and for all. And there are also riots happening on the Avian and Swine Legion grounds about the whole Mighty Eagle ordeal, so it's pro-Eagles versus anti-Eagles. And now the pro-Eagles are starting a mine that leads directly to Eagle Mountain, into the cave, I guess to get closer to the Eagle. The anti-Eagles know about this plot and are trying to freaking stop it. So, Officer Hugh, who is an anti-Eagle, gets Red and he tells them about the mine. And Red, Chuck, Hal, Jake, Officer Hugh all go out to stop them. So they go into the mine and head into the tunnels with the slingshot, and basically Mine and Dine ensues. So this was supposed to be a take on Mine and Dine. So yeah, here we friggin' go. So mine scaffolding, contraptions, all sorts of structures are knocked down. So yeah, it's Red versus all these pro-Eagles who are mining. And then a band of miners, or pro-Eagles, come out with an Oriole. The Oriole is a strong little shit, but the older Red and Chuck and Hal and Fuck and etc., that's what I put on the drawing board right here, quickly overpower him and the miners. And by miners, I mean people who mine. The Oriole says he recognizes the birds, and then the cave starts rumbling from all the destruction going on, and the Oriole darts away and warns the birds to keep out. So outside, Terrence Baum and all the other pro-Eagles are basically winning up there, and they take to the tunnels to friggin' stop Red and his band of anti-Eagles. Then the next scene, we're back in, the Piggy Empire on the Kingdom grounds. Father Stoutsman's goons are breaking into the actual castle, the stronghold, the Porker Base, and they're attempting to friggin' slaughter Smooth Cheeks the Fourth. And Friar Goodpig is like, oh, don't go down there, don't go down there, Junior, they're gonna fucking kill you, Junior. And Smooth Cheeks the Fourth is like, nah, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna stab him. So Smooth Cheeks gets to the guards, and they're ready to friggin' take on Father Snoutsman and his goons. So Scene 8 is back in the mine, where with Terrence, Bomb, Red, Chuck, Hal, and Jake, Terrence friggin' floors Chuck and Hal and Jake, and he takes them back to the surface, leaving Red and Bomb to stand off. But that is left for part 3, so we don't see that yet. It's just Red and Bomb in that little chamber. And then Civil War Part 3. So we're back at the Piggy Kingdom. That's how we open. The royal guards are being sliced through by Snoutsman and his cavaliers. Junior and his guards get downstairs, and the factions simply stare at each other. I say the factions simply stare at each other, or, you know, the people simply stare at each other a lot throughout this entire drawing board, because stare downs are freaking intense. So yeah, cavaliers versus guards, and Snoutsman versus Junior. And they trek down to the dungeon whilst fighting. So they're scaling down the stairs whilst, you know, having a blade brawl. So Scene 2, Terrence walks out with Chuck, Hal, and Jake, who are defeated. And it turns out the Anti-Eagles got the upper hand while we were in the mine. So, yeah, the Anti-Eagles are winning up on the surface. So that's good news if you're an Anti-Eagle. So, Officer Hugh heads in with a band of his own as Chuck races to follow the pig band. He is cut off by a line of Anti-Eagle troopers. The troops block the entrance in the cave by having stone and scaffolding collapse, so no one's allowed in. It's just Officer Hugh and his band of pigs as they go to find Red. So, and speaking of Red, we're with Red and Bomb again, and Bomb and Red are basically saying the same shit. Red says that he can't let the Mighty Eagle cause any more destruction while being idolized. And Bomb, you know, says that they need the Mighty Eagle because he's a necessary destruction. That's the only fucking justification I have. And so they begin their epic fight. I'm gonna read every little freaking thing of choreography I wrote. Bomb starts by running to Red in an electro ball. Red headbutts into Bomb, and an epic shockwave spawns. Red jumps in the air and zooms at Bomb. He hits him and launches him into the air. He strikes again midair, and Bomb strikes a Red down to the ground as he does his final zoom. He electro balls down and curb stomps Red. I don't think that's what curb stomp is. Okay. Red spawns a feather force field, whatever the fuck that means, and throws rocks at Bomb. What? Huh? Bomb cuts through many of the rocks with his zaps. They run to each other again, and the scene ends just there as they run into each other. So, Scene 4, we're back in what's it called? Porker Base. So the Cavaliers are winning against the guards, so Snoutsman's goons have slaying the guards, the royal guards. But in the dungeon, Snoutsman and Junior are really getting at it. Junior throws Snoutsman off and tells him how ignorant he is. Snoutsman tells Junior how sensitive he is and he can never be like his father. Junior gets really mad and goes ham. Oh, quite literally. He can't touch Snoutsman though because his defense is cold. That's what I said back in the cave. Because of all the shit that's going on with Bomb and Red, the cave's rumbling, and the Oriole flees from his home, and he finds Officer Hugh and his band. Yeah, he's frightened by the pigs, but he somehow comes to terms with them, and then he leads them towards the fight scene, because they're trying to find Red. A pig from the band is killed by a falling rock. That's the little footnote I put at the end of that scene. So Scene 6, Red and Bomb are doing a bunch of crazy shit in the air. They're zooming, zapping, bashing, and blowing. Don't read too much into that. So yeah, a bunch of crazy shit is happening. Until they do like their super attack, which is like they're inching closer to each other with their forking awesome magnetic powers, and when they get close to each other, it's like two opposite ends of a magnet. When you push them together, a friggin' explosion happens. So boom. So as the band led by the Oriole and Officer Hugh come closer to the arena, the explosion darts its way down the shaft, and the Oriole inflates in front of the band and protects Officer Hugh and the pigs. And then outside, the Anti-Eagles still have everyone pinned down, but then, you know, the mountains explode because of the fight, and everyone stops what they're doing, and they're like, oh shit. So, back at Castle, I keep calling it Pigbrick, but Castle Pigbrick was the first, what's it called? It was that the castle from Poached Eggs, but that one's been destroyed. So from Mighty Hoax forward, the main castle is Porker Base. Nope. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. We're back in Porker Base, and Junior is friggin' going absolutely ham. He's just swinging his blade around inconventionally. But the guards are dead, and the Cavaliers are coming to assist Snoutsman. But Snoutsman is a dodging legend. But Junior is not so good with his blade. It says Junior takes a huge swing at Snoutsman and almost fucking nails him, but Snoutsman quickly parries it. The two are kept in this stance for a good second before Junior mightily pushes him off. The guards make it down, Snoutsman steps aside, and then a huge bash happens. It's Cavaliers versus Smooth Cheeks IV. After Junior brusquely kills one, he takes the Cavalier's blade, and Junior goes double-bladed and brutally kills them all. And then Snoutsman regains himself and heads back into peril. 1 blade versus 2. So we're back in the mine ruins, everyone's searching for Red and Bomb, and out of the rumble rises Officer Hugh, his band, and the Oriole. The Oriole deflates, and then Mighty Eagle comes down and he says,
"You're all fucking stupid."
And then the Pro Eagles hold up Bomb and say, "Hey, here's the Chosen One." And then the Mighty Eagle says,
"Nope. Red is still the Chosen One. Because I just said so."
And everyone's like, alright, you know what, fuck this, we're leaving. So the Pro Eagles leave the Avian and Swine Legion with Bomb, Matilda, Jim, and Jay. And then Terrence says, "You don't deserve those feathers," to Red. So, yeah. So Red and the Anti-Eagles, Chuck, Hal, and Jake are all in total silence as their friends fucking leave. Forever. Then the next scene, Junior and Snoutsman are still fucking fighting. Okay, so Junior overpowers Snoutsman, and because he has 2 swords now, and he kills him. So yeah, Snoutsman's dead. The Anti-Eagles have a medal ceremony. So it's the Birds, Officer Hugh, and the Pigs, and his band, and the Oriole is admitted into the flock. And this is what I put in the outline. I said he is given the name Paul because Bubbles doesn't fit his character. And then Red was, gonna have a big speech. And while this speech was gonna happen, we're gonna cut back to Junior going to the balcony of Porker Base and throwing Snoutsman's corpse out the balcony into the ground, and the Cavaliers and, Father Snoutsman's goons all surrender, and the Loyalists celebrate. And then there's gonna be a post-credit cinematic, since this was, the end of the season. So just Bomb and the Pro Eagles, they pushed through the harsh winds. It was gonna be snowing, I guess. He looks back and sheds another tear. He looks ahead and pushes forward. That was going to be the end of Season 2. So Season 3 is going to be very special. Season 3 consists of 3 big movies, 3-parters. So the first 3-parter was going to be a take on Angry Birds Rio, where Red, Chuck, and Jake get fucking captured by Junior and shipped away to Rio. Yes, quite literally. Then Angry Birds Rio was supposed to take place. And that was actually how the Civil War was going to end. They were going to be like, "Oh my god, they're stuck in Rio. We have to come back together and save them from Rio." Because, all the birds joined them in Rio to take on Nigel and the Brazilian smugglers. So that's actually what the fuck was gonna happen. That's how the Civil War was gonna end. And then the next movie was gonna be Seasons, and I don't know how we were gonna do that, but that's just what I have down. Angry Birds Seasons was going to be the second movie, and then it would be finished off by Angry Birds Space. I also don't know how, but that's just how it was gonna end. There are too many loud fucking cars in this city, in this neighborhood. So yeah, I was just gonna end with a big space epic. Oh shit, I should have done Angry Birds Epic. We'll get to that in a minute. But that course of action for Season 3 got changed when we wanted to condense Civil War to be the finale. So the rest of Civil War, parts 2 and 3, became this. It became something called Curse of the Tri-Ring for part 2. and Endgame for Part 3. But before we get into that, we also had a prologue film. Even before we wanted to make Civil War the finale, another plan for Season 3 was to just make Season 3 into 2 feature-length films. There was going to be a prologue film, and there was going to be the actual Endgame film, and I don't quite know how those were going to play out. But some of the prologue elements actually make its way into the Civil War Part 2 version 2 outline, when Civil War was going to be the finale. So here's what we have for Curse of the Tri-Ring. That's actually what this is called. This came out of freaking thin air. This Tri-Ring stuff. There was a red ring, a blue ring, and a silver ring. And I don't know where that came from. But before we get into this, I do want to talk about some of the Angry Birds plush lore. So long ago, millennia ago, the Eagles, the Mighty Eagles, there were several Mighty Eagles, all living in harmony, lived on Birdie Island. They were the guardians of Birdie Island. But one of the Eagles, the Mighty Eagle, was searching for a little special something called the Golden Egg. And this golden egg was made of the same gold as Gale's crown. So it was like Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, where, you touch the ring and go mad. So the Mighty Eagle went mad trying to look for this golden ring, and he killed his fellow Mighty Eagle. So in Vida La Legion, when Baum goes to the cave to talk to Eagle, you can see a bunch of white fluff everywhere. That's actually just fiberglass from the attic, but it's in the world of Angry Birds plush, that is actually fluff and remains of the eagles that Mighty Eagle slaughtered. So, the Mighty Eagle slaughtered his own brethren over the golden egg. But this was much before that, when I was still trying to formulate what the hell the Mighty Eagle was. So we talk about these rings, and it's literally the dumbest thing ever. Red has the red ring, Baum has the blue ring, and Junior has the silver ring. Now, Friar Good Pig tells Junior that he's at the age to know the past, so the silver ring tells all. He tells about the pig's exile from their homeland, the crowning of Smooth Cheeks III, and his rejection with Gale. That is correct. In the Angry Birds plush universe, the Stella games take place before Angry Birds plush, the main events of Angry Birds plush, by like 30 years. So by the events of Angry Birds plush, Stella is like either dead or super old. It's just somewhere in the world. So yes, yeah, the Stella games are canon, but they take place like 30 years before. And Smooth Cheeks went to the island. They fled to the island where Stella was with her friends and Gale found the crown. And Smooth Cheeks III is the Prince Pig with the blonde wig. The Prince Pig with the blonde wig in the Stella games is Smooth Cheeks III, the pig that's in love with Gale. But Gale constantly rejects him. So this rejection with Gale made him hate birds. So he came to Birdie Island to kill birds and unite the rings. That's what it says here. But the stuff with Gale and the Stella games, that's all true. But the rings have been retconned. This was a shitty rough draft of something bigger. So Mighty Eagle wants the rings, because in this version, Mighty Eagle was after the rings, not the golden egg, because the golden egg didn't come to fruition at this point in production yet. So replace everything I told you with the rings. And that is why the Mighty Eagle is evil. But now in this point of Angry Birds plush, it is the golden egg. Something that we never got into, but it was once in the first route of Vida La Legion, but now it's no more. But a lot of the things in this early draft of the finale, have made its way in Vida La Legion, the final. So yeah, Mighty Eagle being the bad guy, Red dying, Terrence dying, Jake getting shot, Johnson being a bastard, Foreman Johnson being a bastard, Junior trying to be reasonable, and yeah. And also this post-credits cinematic where Junior is in heaven with his dad, and Smooth Cheeks regrets everything he's ever done. So Vidal Legion came to be after my big break from the psych ward. My big break from YouTube. So Vidal Legion first came to fruition in September of 2022. Then I had another mental break from the psych ward. YouTube. And I said, yeah, it's not happening. But this was the first draft I wrote for Vidal Legion. And I will... Oh, this is 3 pages. I don't know if I want to tell you all of this. I will definitely put these online. So, what... The golden egg that I was talking about was in this draft. And Smooth Cheeks IV was... going to resort to quote-unquote dark magic in an effort to rejuvenate the golden egg, whatever the frick that means. But Red is being, manipulated by the Mighty Eagle, which is something that carried on into the final draft of Vidal Legion, where, he's just seeing things. He's not actually imagining his father, he's not actually imagining, they're just visions and mind tricks by the Mighty Eagle to keep him at a low. And finally, the Red's philosophy that Bomb grew attached to is here. And this is the very original version of it. It says, "The beauty about destruction is that all's fair in love and war. Good comes in many shapes and sizes in many intervals. Always play the game of life at maximum power." That's what Red said, and that's what Bomb stuck to. I think that I actually do end up making that the final saying. The final version. But yeah. Junior's gone rogue, which is another thing that we kept. And Snoutsman is in this plot too. And Johnson wants to kill Junior because Junior has gone rogue. So he goes to Snoutsman so they can plan to kill him. But I think Junior ends up killing Johnson anyways. But that happens much later in the film. So, Red goes rogue himself, but he goes rogue with his feathers, so I guess it is an eagle trick, and the feathers guide him to Junior's tent, which is just outside the kingdom grounds. It's like he was waiting for Red. And they discuss the eagle, and they both think that he's evil, because, Red thinks that he's evil, and of course Junior hates him, hates the eagle. And Junior convinces Red that if the two collaborate to find the egg, and expel the eagle, Junior can incorporate his tech in the Legion to fix Bomb and Matilda and unify all things. So they're going to they agree to find the golden egg, basically, so that they can friggin' kill the eagle. So Red accepts this deal, but Junior pulls the rug out from under him, and Red is trapped in some sort of glass chamber, perpetually haunted by his father and his peers as Junior snags Red's feathers. So that's what that trailer moment was from the first Vidal Legion trailer, is where Red is trapped inside of the glass chamber. So everyone is looking for Terrence, because Terrence is gone. And Bomb is like, okay, something's not right with the eagle. So everyone finds out that the eagle is a bastard. And Snoutsman kills Johnson, actually. And then Snoutsman goes to free Red. And Junior finds the golden egg, and he goes to kill the eagle, but the eagle kills him first. This is like this is like a little Jack Brooks playing with his action figures. It's just an incoherent plot. But it all leads up to, of course, another fight with the eagle. Red dies, Terrence dies. Snoutsman was going to be the district attorney instead of Good Pig. I don't know what I did with Good Pig. It says Chuck is the new president, which no, it's actually Hal. Bomb and Matilda are still retired. Yeah, that was the first Vidal Legion plot. Now here's my last resort. If I were to continue Angry Birds Plush, which is not happening, I'm already going to tell you that. Don't even get any funny ideas, it's not happening. I would definitely make it about the golden egg, because I see something with it. It's very... It has a lot of potential. And I would dive into, you know, the prologue, the world building. So we're gonna see an elderly. I keep saying Gunham. No, guys, I swear it's not happening. It's not happening because I'm not touching this again. But it's just hypothetical. But we would see older Stella, because this takes place after the Stella games, much later and after the Stella games, and of course we would have Bubbles. And I do want to say. Silver Bells, at least in my mind, is still canon, so we won't be seeing Silver because I think by the end of it, it was really supposed to be like a Batman Returns things where Silver like dies at the end of it, like how Catwoman dies but not really at the end of Batman Returns. It was supposed to be like that, so I don't really know if Silver would still even be alive by the end of Silver Bells, but yeah, Silver Bells is canon. But only one issue was written, so that's... I'm gonna be posting all these original scripts and documents and outlines online so that you guys can read them. It would also be very hatchling-centered. If I continued the series, it would also be very hatchling-centered, and they, you know, want to follow in the footsteps of their daddy. And, of course, Chuck is gonna have to take a lead role because he was, holy crap, he was neglected so insanely badly. He was neglected so insanely badly in Angry Birds Plush. And I think the villain I would like to use would be that villain for Angry Birds Movie 2. Now, everyone hates Angry Birds Movie 2. I do too, but I think I really like the villain for that movie. She was redundant and fucking stupid, but I think you could do something freaking awesome with her. Zeta, that was her name. Yeah, maybe. It might not, may not even be a bird. Might not even make it a bird. Might be someone else, but Zeta might be a good approach. Who knows? Guys, yeah. Guys, here's my final ranking of the Angry Birds Plush saga, from least goodest to best goodest. So at the very bottom we have The Mighty Hoax, which is a 3 out of 10. It is very lame, and I tried to be experimental with it because I didn't want it to be a repeat of Poached Eggs with how I carried out the adventure, but it just ended up being lame and incoherent and stupid. And that part with the Gearverse, I was trying to lead up to like a multiverse sort of thing with all my series, but none of those series ever came to be. So yeah, that shit didn't even, that shit ended up not even mattering. So yeah, Mighty Hoax gets a 3 out of 10, very stupid. Danger Above is a 4 out of 10. It is way too long. It is way too long, and so is Mighty Hoax, really. But dude, Danger Above, when they talk about the backstories in that plane, dude, it's like just a 15-minute snooze fest. Like, I could have dropped their backstories at a much, just, you know, just a gooder, a much gooder, like, much more interesting sort of way. Much more gooder, much more interesting sort of way. That was actually compelling and shit, but, no, I just didn't. And it's really lame, and it's really slow, and there's so much mood and tone whiplash in this fucking stupid movie. When Red discovers the eggs are, like, hatched and, like, absolutely destroyed, he like, cries aloud, and the next scene, it's Chuck, Hal, and Bomb fucking around, like, literally dicking around, like, sticking their penises inside of each other, and it's like, dude, the fucking tonal whiplash on that shit. So yeah, fuck Danger Above, 4 out of 10. Poached Eggs, 5 out of 10. It's just classic plush tubing. Nothing good, nothing bad. Kind of slow in some areas, kind of janky, because, you know, it's first film syndrome, but it's better than, it's definitely the best of Angry Birds Season 1. Next is Civil War. It's a 5.5 out of 10. Very slow, very boring, and very, very stupid. Caused a bunch of distress for no reason, and it existed to, you know, hype shit up, but, you know, Civil War ended up not happening, so Civil War by itself is very unsatisfying, so yeah, just a 5.5, but at least it's coherent, kind of. Next is Short Fuse. Short Fuse is a 6 out of 10. It is very ridiculous, so you just gotta love it. You just gotta love it because of how ridiculous it is. But some things come out of nowhere with no build-up, and it's very, very melodramatic. It's very melodramatic, and the mic I use for parts 2 and 3 are bad. the mic I used just was dying, and I didn't think to replace the batteries. So, short fuse, you're so ridiculous that you're good, but not good enough. 6 out of 10. The big setup gets a 7 out of 10. It was almost... This is just like nostalgic, classic plush tubing, just awesome adventuring. But, there are some weird things. There are some weird things that I pulled that just don't make no sense. But other than that, I'd say the adventure was well worth a while. Well worthwhile. And even though I say that some things kind of come out of nowhere, some things come full circle, and some things feel earned. A lot of it feels earned. So I feel like this, the big setup was a win. It was a win in the Angry Birds plush book. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for big setup. So at the very top is, you already know at this point, Vida a la Legion with a 7.5 out of 10. Now, Vida a la Legion is very jank, but I still think it's the best. I still think it is like the best constructed. It's sort of, it is a, you know, no bullshit sort of film, but you know, we're following 3 major characters in their own distinctive way. So each act is dedicated to a character, which is not ideal. And since there was no script, a lot of things are repeated, and it's like, dude, we know the fucking plot. Let's move on. But other than that, it's pretty solid. I think I did a good job with Vida a la Legion. If not, yeah, sorry. But that's all I have to say for today. Vida a la Legion commentary coming soon, okay? I've tried on 5 separate occasions to record it, and every attempt has failed, but I'm gonna try one more time. One more time. If it doesn't work, no Vida a la Legion commentary. But here's some other things to expect very soon. Next month, we're getting in the Halloween season, so guess what's coming out? A little Five Nights at Freddy's thing. Hopefully, maybe, just maybe. And then, Saw is turning 20 soon. And you guys know that I'm a big Saw head. So I love Saw, so I'm gonna make another little music video. And I'm going to do a director's commentary on that Halloween special from a while back, the Angry Birds vs. Plants vs. Zombies special. I will do that. I wanted to do that with Casey, but we filmed that like 27 million years ago, so she's definitely not going to remember anything about it, so I don't think a commentary with her would really work for that one. So don't worry. But I will do it because I do want to revisit it, because it's kind of a classic. And people have forgotten about it. So, let's pay that one. Let's pay that video a little visit, shall we? Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you in therapy.